Hey, everybody, welcome to the Players Podcast. And today we're going to talk about the best tournament I've ever been a part of. Now, I've played basketball my whole life. I've been in tournaments my whole life, but I've never been in a tournament quite like this. It is called the NCHBC tournament. So that stands for National Homeschool Basketball Championships. This tournament was an experience, and the people that ran it did an awesome job. I've been around in the homeschool sector for 2 years now. The first year I was a coach. The second year, which is this year, I am the AD for CHSA. So I've gotten to see this tournament from two very different lenses. My first year, I was just going along with the ride, just wherever they tell me to go. But the second year, I watched it on purpose. Year one, 792 teams. And anything that's healthy is going to grow. So it probably was upwards of 900 teams. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, how are you going to run this large tournament with people coming from all over the nation and help it run smoothly? It's in a week's time. You'll play one or two games each day, and you still need things to run on time, things to go smoothly. So this is really cool. So I want to just break down all of the things. First of all, location. They chose Springfield, Missouri. Now, if you want a vacation and go places, Branson, Missouri, that's a pretty unique place. So it's good to take your family to. But according to the basketball, everything's within 15 minutes of each other. There's no traffic. So when I first thought, man, why not have it in Dallas? They have all the field houses. Well, Springfield has field houses. They have 3 or 4 universities that they can use. So if you want to pack the gym, like they had Drury, which is a Division II school, you could fit everybody in there for your All-American games, for your championship games. If you want to have big homeschool speeches, you can do that all at that gym. They have Missouri State, which they've used, which is a mid-major Division I. So they have these big gyms, but also have field houses so you can, play in gyms with 4, 5, 6 courts. But again, everything is 15 minutes from each other. I'm the AD, so it's my job to go and watch all the teams of all levels. So our varsity B team was playing in the championship game at Drury University. At halftime, I got word that tip-off for the varsity A team was going to go. In 5 minutes, I was there in the new gym helping the other team. So you can't beat the location. How they run the tournament. There's a bunch of different ways that they do the bracket, and they typically choose the one that is most appropriate for that age. So the typical one, just to keep it simple, is throughout the year, first of all, they're ranking teams. So games that you play in October, November, December, they matter because if that's going to be the difference if you rank number 5 in the nation or 25 in the nation. So you need to be valuing every single game. I like that. So the committee does a great job. I don't know how they communicate it. Again, I have more questions than answers when it comes to this. I'm just telling you my experience. So there's teams in Kentucky, Louisiana, just everywhere. And they rank these teams. So when you get to nationals, the rankings are pretty spot on. They're doing their homework somehow, even though everybody doesn't get to play everybody. So on day one, meaning Monday, you might face a top seed, like the number 1 seed might face a lower seed, and they might get blown out. But they create parity so quick in this tournament that by the end of Tuesday or Wednesday, you are basically in a separate tournament. And now that's really good for a coach because now you're facing teams that look like you, probably move same height as you. And so now you're playing in this tournament where you can win some really good hardware. And I'm going to show you the hardware in a second. So after that's split up, you have divisions. So now there's Division I, the next tier, Division II, 3, 4, and it's just like you might expect. Division I being the top, 4 being the lowest if that age group has that many teams. So now you're in your separate tournament. There's still an opportunity to win hardware. When I coached, our team won the undisputed national championship, which means we got a trophy. Let me show you the hardware. So we won. So we were the national champions, and this is the trophy. You can be proud of this in your trophy case. This is really nice. They spend some money. So this is something worth fighting for, training for, and one to have in your trophy case. So this is really good. After we won this one, we got the undisputed, making us the number 1 team in the nation. So you get a banner. So the banner's in the gym back there. Obviously, I'm not going to pull the banner out, but we also had a 3-on-3 tournament, and I got a little juice in the tank left. So anyway, we won that, and this is a trophy that each player received. If you come in second, you get one that's silver. If you come in third, you get one that's bronze. But these are some very, very nice trophies. So they spend their money and they make it worthwhile to go out there. Now, the other thing that makes it so important to one, create the parity, and so you're in a division that fits you, is because you got to think people have traveled 12, 15, 20 hours. They've flown, they're staying there for weeks. They've spent a lot of money for this tournament, for this experience. So you don't want, if you have, one or two bad luck games or don't play well early, to not be planning for anything on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So they found a way to make that valuable. And that's really, really cool that they've done. Another thing that's unique is Team USA. That's something I've never heard of. So I was like, what is this? So just imagine you're in homeschool, you don't have a team to play for, but you love basketball. Well, you could go to national championship and be on a Team USA with other players that don't have a team. Let's say you had a team and y'all only had 6 players and 3 get injured. Well, now you don't have a team to go to nationals with. So now you can get your teammates, join Team USA, and play in the tournament. And they have a rule, and I agree with it 100%. This is the only caveat, is that if you are Team USA, you can't win in the championship brackets, which is fine, and that makes complete sense to me. When they're playing, or when they're planning these tournaments and the games, these are a lot of things that they have to think about. Remember, a lot of things have to go right. There's very few times where games were off schedule, and if you've been a part of AAU, you know how you can't even depend on the schedule. So me as AD, trying to run around from gym to gym and watch multiple teams play, it was very easy for me to just look at the schedule, say, oh, this team plays at this time, show up, and they are playing. So that's good. The other thing with the scheduling is, and this is really cool with homeschool, let's say you have a strong JV player. So he can play JV because he's of age, but then he also can play varsity. So he can do a roster. I like that. Like, usually you have to make a choice. Do I want my kid to play up with varsity and maybe not play as much, but get the experience? Or do I want my kid to play JV where he's going to play a lot, learn to be a leader and things like that? So, you don't have to choose, do I want this or that? You can choose this and that when it comes to homeschool. And how they schedule this, JV teams that typically play in the mornings, the varsity teams that generally play in the afternoons. And so you're allowed to get a little rest and play for both teams. I think that's very unique and very good for the players and the competitiveness of the game. I don't really want to get into names, but CJ Pomeroy is heading something very good, and he's inviting college coaches. Now, one of the things people always ask is, if I'm playing homeschool, can I get recruited? One of the things that they've done is, I know Michaela Curtis, she kind of helped head one of these college prep seminars. So there's multiple kids that are going to play basketball beyond high school. So what she did is she got some of her friends and some of the players together, and they came in at the seminar and they're talking to the other younger players, saying, hey, this is what I did to get there. I sent film, whatever they did. Also, with CJ Pomeroy has brought in coaches. I spoke to at least 6 to 8 of them while I was there. And those coaches aren't just there. Those coaches came in, they educated the parents, the players. They said, hey, look, this is what I value at my level. This is what I look for in a player, which is very important, because a lot of times what coaches, or what players and parents think a coach want and what a coach actually wants, can be 2 different things. So it's very important that if you get information in the 8th or 9th grade that a coach values movement without the ball and 0.5 decisions and things like that, then to kind of transform your training to look like what they want. For in terms of like the player and the talent level, you have people that or maybe you don't know they did homeschool, but they did homeschool. So everybody knows Blake Griffin. He played for the OKC Storm. Justin Jackson, who played at North Carolina. I'm not sure who team he played on. At one point, he was on the Sacramento Kings. You have Mariah Jefferson. She played for the Thessa Riders. I probably said that name wrong. She played at UConn. I think she was number 1 or 2 pick in the WNBA draft. This year, you have Lily Williams. She's already committed to Michigan State as a sophomore. So if you're really good, they can and will find you, even if you're playing homeschool. And one of the things that, as I was talking to coaches, that they like is they get to see offense. Specifically at the Division I level, you see a lot of it. Where there's movement without the ball, there's cutting, there's quick decisions, they're running motion offenses. Like, watching good basketball is just awesome to see. And it tells the coaches that, hey, if I do recruit this player, I don't have to worry if he can play in a system or not. A lot of times what I see in AAU is, because the kids are talented, they're just one flat, playing one-on-one basketball, very little movement. Even public school can be that way, but typically at the at the homeschool level, at the upper homeschool level, you see a lot of player and ball movement and a lot of team chemistry going on. So coaches don't have to question if this kid can fit in a system. Here's something else that I thought is good. Technology has gone a long way, and they are starting to use that to its fullest potential. So now you have baller TV, where it's very rare where we played a game and we didn't know about the other team because of Baller TV. When we won the championship last year, we didn't play a single team from Texas. We played a team from Little Rock, Arkansas, from Louisiana, from Kentucky, from St. Louis, but we didn't play a Texas team. So, like, how do you get film and how do you know? And I like that. I like our players being able to forecast how they're going to attack the next game. And it was no different. The other coaches, I mean, we played a game where the team was calling our baseline out of bounds plays almost before we called them. And so it shows that they've done their homework, and it's our kids' job to pivot, to deal with the adversity of teams jumping your play and learning to do it differently. So I like that they use the technology. The other thing that was really cool for the players is the telecast. So the broadcasters are really good. They're knowledgeable of the game. They've done their homework. So they're telling you the history of the program, the history of the players, all these things. And then it's really cool to just kind of get on YouTube as a player, listen to what the commentators are saying about you. And also there's been interviews. So you get kind of the whole experience of being a high level player. And they've done well for it. So if you're not able to make the games, you can jump on YouTube, watch the games on YouTube. Matter of fact, you can go on there right now if you want to see the quality of the basketball. I'm gonna mess it up, but I believe it's NCHBC Athletics. If you type that in YouTube, you can see some of the games. Now, they've asked me, hey, what can we do to add to this experience? What can we do to make it better? And look, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to just enjoy it. Like I said, I have more questions than answers. If there was one thing that I'd add, and I don't even know if it's up to them and how hard this will be, is if there was a shot clock in homeschool basketball. The next level is college. So if however they do it, if they could put floor shot clocks, whatever, in homeschool basketball brought shot clocks, that would allow them to be a step ahead of the rest. And that would be the only thing. Outside of that, I couldn't run it any better than they did. But if they could find a way to add a shot clock into this experience, so coaches could see a bit more pace, a bit more usage of the shot clock, and just preparing our players for the next level, that would be really cool to see. But all in all, this was great. Hopefully you get a chance to just check it out and see it. But this was a really fun experience. Guys, don't change much. That's what I'll say. Don't change much. And thank you again for allowing me to be a part of this.